Now, the US rapper Kanye West has responded to the backlash over his headline slot at the Wireless Festival in London. A number of corporate sponsors, including the soft drink giant Pepsi, have withdrawn from the event after his appearance was announced. Now known as Ye, the rapper has released a song in praise of Adolf Hitler and sold swastika t-shirts. He's previously apologized for making anti-Semitic comments, blaming the outbursts on his bipolar disorder. Statement, the rapper says he wants to meet with members of the Jewish community in Britain. He also says, to those I've hurt, I've been following the conversation around wireless and want to address it directly. My only goal is to come to London and present a show of change, bringing unity, peace and love. I know words aren't enough. I'll have to show change through my actions. If you're open, I'm here. Well, the Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, says Kanye West should not be allowed to headline the Wireless Festival in light of his anti-Semitic remarks.
I think the organisers have shown a terrible error of judgment in inviting him, and another terrible error of judgment in the statement they've put out, which tries to give a fig leaf of credibility to Kanye West after a pattern of behaviour. He released a song called Heil Hitler. He plastered it across T-shirts. I don't understand why the organisers felt, given his fame, his reach, his influence, and rising anti-Semitism in this country and many others, anti-Jewish hatred, that isn't just manifesting itself through online abuse and verbal intimidation, which is bad enough. We have seen in this country deadly attacks like the one in Heaton Park at the synagogue. We saw only weeks ago the attack on a Jewish charity in North London that runs an ambulance service. Anti-Semitism is on the rise and it can be deadly. The idea that you platform someone after this pattern of behaviour, I think is appalling. And do I buy the sincerity of his apology? No, I do not. And in any case, the apology is not one for me to accept. I'm not Jewish, and we should listen to what our Jewish representatives in this country and so many others are saying about Kanye West's behaviour.
Well, speaking to BBC Radio 4's Today programme, the promoter of the Wireless Festival, Melvin Benn, said Jewish groups had refused to meet with Kanye West.
We have reached out and they've refused to meet him. I have reached out and they've refused to meet him.
When did you do that?
Just over the last couple of days.
Right.
Really.
Should you not have done it before when you were making the decision about whether to bring, hang on a second, to bring to the country someone who has issued swastika T-shirts, someone who brought out a song called Heil Hitler? Should you not at an early stage have said to Jewish groups in this country, you okay with this?
Yeah, potentially we should have done, Justin, and that may prove to be a mistake that we've made, but so potentially we should have done.
Well, let's now speak to Adrian Cohen, Senior Vice President at the Board of Deputies of British Jews, the largest Jewish communal organisation in the UK. Welcome to the programme. So listening to what Melvin Benn had to say there, are you willing to meet with Kanye West?
Well, first of all, if you don't mind, I'd just like to correct the record there. It's not the case in the last couple of days we received an invitation to meet with Kanye West. He publicly made a statement today that he would like to meet with the community, but there was nothing previous to that. What we did receive was very recently was a invitation to meet with the festival organisers, which is to a different thing because we'd raised our serious concerns about headlining with Kanye West with them, and it's only after mounting pressure and the backlash that they then reached out to meet with us. But the Kanye West invitation is actually just a public statement issued by him to meet with the community.
If
Yes,
if Kanye West is asking for forgiveness, saying he's willing to meet and resolve any tensions, how open are you to that?
So again, Melvin Benn is wrong in terms of the record. What we've said is that if he's prepared to withdraw from the festival, then there's a basis for having a meeting with him. But it's pointless us meeting with him ahead of the festival because obviously that of itself doesn't really, just meeting with us and expressing regret doesn't really in any way evidence true remorse. And all it means is he can say, well, he's met with the community and expressed his regrets, but he's got a long history of making very inflammatory statements, anti-Semitic statements, glorifying the Nazis and Hitler, and you can't just deal with that by meeting with the community. And we have a wider responsibility, both for the community here and Jews in other countries as well, all of whom are impacted by his words, given the impact that he has in terms of his followership in the cultural world.
Yes, because he's on tour at the moment in the US, playing to thousands of people. His music is played on radio stations here in the UK. What's your concern with him coming, performing and headlining this festival?
Well, I'd like to really commend the words that Wes Streeting just made. I think he's really covered the topic very well. This is a period of increasing anti-Semitism, and Wes outlined some of the things that have happened: the murderous attack in Heaton, Manchester, the arson attack on the ambulances in North London, just as a couple of examples of some of the worst things that have happened. But we're on high vigilance, and actually, even worse, appalling atrocity could be committed, but for the success of our security services in thwarting some of them. So this is a time of heightened tension and rising record of recorded hate crimes against our community. And so you've got to question whether someone with that record of inflammatory statements is conducive to the public good here.